colt starting. So today I have Striker with me. He's going to be my little example horse for today's video. So what we're going to be talking about is horses that are just pretty much, dead in the mouth, not responsive to backing, stopping, or just anything with pressure with the bit and the reins and everything like that. So Striker here, he pretty much knows what he's doing, so I'm just going to kind of talk y'all through and give y'all an example of a training technique that I use for horses like this. And even if you're starting a colt and you want them to get used to pressure with the bit and the reins, then this is like the perfect way to do it. So obviously I'm going to start on the ground first. I do everything, step by step. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to have either an O-ring or a D-ring snaffle and a pair of split reins. If you don't have split reins, that's totally fine. Just get some longer pair of reins and that'll work. So I'm going to make sure my reins are even on both sides. We want even pressure on both sides of the reins for this to really be effective. So the first thing you're going to do is just ask for their head. Just let them, give their head. So you're going to slowly add some pressure. You're just going to very lightly pull back first. Now see, he's kind of ignoring it, so I'm just going to ask for some more. And you just keep adding pressure as you go. Gonna keep asking. He's kind of falling asleep here. So oh, now I got his attention. Okay, so here we want to ask for his head there. So you saw that kind of drop, and I release the pressure. This is key in this training technique, is being able to watch for that subtle change and movement of, giving to that pressure. And that's when you want to release, your reins, tell them they did a good job, and then we're gonna do it again. So now he thinks I'm asking him to back up, or don't really want him to back up for me yet. So I'm just gonna very lightly sometimes they'll pull and fight you, and that's okay. There, he gave his head, I release. Now you do want to get to the point where you are able to get them to back up like that, but we also want their head to be engaged as well. So, ask again, very lightly. There, he gave his head, and I release. Tell me did a good job. So now this could take, minutes, hours, days, weeks, however long it takes it just depends on the horse. Now, obviously some horses are more difficult. It just takes a lot of time and patience with this training technique. So just make sure you're prepared to be doing this almost every day for a while. So now I'm going to ask him to back up for me, but I also want his head to be down like this. So I want his head, good. So yes, they'll sometimes pop their head up and open their mouth and gape wide open. It's just important to, not let go in that moment, because then they think, oh, I can do that. That's the correct thing to do. So now I just want them to back up a step. I'm going to ask for a tiny bit more pressure and release. That was good. Okay. So that's how you do it. And then after you do this for a while and they fully understand the concept of what you're asking, then you'll get in the saddle and do the same thing, but you're just in the saddle. And then you'll just repeat until they fully understand and they're soft in the mouth. They're going to give you their head when they feel those reins pick up. And then whenever you're sitting back and asking to back up, they're still going to have their head down and they just quietly move back. And it's not like a fighting game. It's not them pulling and fighting and you're sitting there tugging and tugging, because we don't want that. We want just very quiet pressure, and we want them to be able to make the decision correctly, to be able to pretty much do it on their own almost. So we're going to just do a very subtle movement, just asking for his head. He gave it pretty nice right there, so I released the pressure, let him know he did a good job. We want that give in the mouth. So I'm going to do it again. So there, he backed up for me, which is good. I want him to back up. We've been working on this for a couple of days and he's doing really good so far. So I'm going to just ask again. Very subtle pressure. and release. So a lot of times I see whenever someone has a horse that's having trouble backing up, they want to automatically yank on the reins really hard and pull back and even kick at the same time. That is not what we want to do. So it's just very subtle movements, and it takes time to get to a certain point. So I'm just asking, and as soon as he takes a step back, I'm going to release the reins, because that's what we want. We want them to be soft. Sometimes they'll pull and make you wait, and that's okay. Now also with backing up, instead of staying square and forward, we want our body to be just slanted down a little bit. Feet forward, now we add. And that's one more step, and release. That was really good. So like I said before, when you have a horse that's just dead in the mouth, they don't want to respond to pressure when you're asking them to back up, or just even give their head in the slightest way, it's important to just start from the very beginning, take them back to an O-ring or a D-ring snaffle. I see a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'll just try a stronger bit, like some kind of correction bit or something like that. While that's totally okay, this is just my way. I always think back to basics, because that's where colts begin, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and that's what I do with, horses that are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, is I'm going to go back to the beginning, because some horses just need that extra mile to fully understand.